の掃除は必要だね。
まずは高いところの埃を落とすんだ。朝日。そして雑巾がけは手前が基本。
見ておく。見てないよ。
Asahi Ikusaba is a high school student and a huge fan of RPG video games. He has always dreamed of adventuring in another world, and his wish unexpectedly comes true when he gets hit by a car while saving a child and falls into a coma. When he wakes up, he finds himself in a fantasy world where he can finally live out his dream of becoming an adventurer. Sadly, he's super weak, but his overpowered sexy sister is here to save the day. As the village lies in peace, suddenly, the calm is broken by the attack of 3 vicious orc brothers. Asahi Ikusaba, a brave soul, quickly approaches the orcs, hoping to stop them. With fury in his voice, he warns them to halt, but instead of heeding his warning, they attack him. However, just as things seem hopeless, a mysterious girl appears out of nowhere and mercilessly eliminates the attackers. In a flashback, Asahi remembers the day he died in a car accident while trying to save a girl's life. But to his surprise, he awakens to find himself reincarnated in a magical game world filled with incredible skills and magic. Eager to start a new life, he heads to the city, determined to enjoy every moment. Upon arrival, Asahi sells his smartphone at a pawn shop, buys new clothes, and a sword with the money. He then heads to the Adventurers Guild, where a friendly receptionist explains everything to him and gives him his first quest to hunt a killer rabbit. Excited about his new adventure, Asahi sets out to complete the quest, but instead finds himself face to face with a terrifying wyvern. Filled with fear, he tries to fight back, but his status is too weak to be of any help. Asahi is filled with fear as he stares at the massive wyvern before him. His mind races as he tries to come up with a plan, but all he can think about is his older sister. Suddenly, like a bolt of lightning, his actual sister Maya appears before him. Asahi is shocked by her incredible power as she effortlessly slays the wyvern. As the dust settles, Maya reveals something that shakes Asahi to his core. She is seriously in love with him. Asahi's heart races as he tries to process this revelation, but before he can fully comprehend it, the villagers appear. They cheer and hail him as a hero, and Maya seems to enjoy the attention. Back at the guild, the receptionist informs Asahi that he has been promoted to the ogre rank. She explains the various ranks and gives him the rank badge, but warns him that he can't sell it. Asahi starts to feel uneasy as he learns that faking strength can lead to severe consequences, including death. Panicked, Asahi turns to Maya for help. After agreeing to assist him, he asks to see her status, but she begins showing him her body measurements instead. Asahi scolds Maya for her seemingly irresponsible behavior, but little does he know there's more to her than meets the eye. In fact, her true status is downright absurd. Still, he knows that they need to keep her secret between them. Suddenly, they hear a commotion outside, loud shouting that catches their attention. Curious, they head outside to investigate. As it turns out, it's the parade of Demon King hunting party, led by a dragon-class adventurer. At first, the party seems harmless enough, but before long they start destroying everything in sight. The people around them are terrified and plead with Asahi to help. Despite his reluctance, he knows he has no choice. He turns to Maya and asks for her assistance. Asahi pretends to use magic, but in reality it's Maya who is secretly helping him. Together, they manage to scare off the reckless party. As they make their way back home, Maya reminds Asahi of their promise to keep her secret. Suddenly, she leans in to kiss him, but he pulls away. Meanwhile, elsewhere, a demon playing with multiple monsters has sensed Maya's strong magic and is eager to meet her. Before we continue, take a moment to answer the question of the day. Who is the most underrated anime character that deserves more recognition? Comment down below for a chance to be shouted out. We then cut to an adventures party being destroyed by a mysterious horned woman. She asks for a challenge and an adventurer who can actually fight her. We then cut to Maya and Asahi. Maya sneezes due to her skimpy outfit, and Asahi lends her his clothes. She then promptly tackles her brother with love. The next day, he decided to go on a quest by himself, but ends up choosing a mushroom picking quest. While picking mushrooms, he is attacked by a bear, but is saved by a different woman, the horned demoness we saw in the beginning of episode 2. Asahi accidentally calls her older sister out of reflex, and the demon lady becomes interested in him. Suddenly, bears surround the two, but the demoness destroys them all with her purple flame magic. A huge scarred king of the bears appears, but the demoness wipes him off the face of the planet and is still bored. Asahi tries to run away from her and ends up running into Maya again. She saves him from the demoness and is actually agreeing with her about how irresistible her brother is. Maya calls out the demoness's skimpy outfit, but she just responds likewise. In the end, the two powerful women clash and are surprised that their power is almost equal. They battle it out, magic sparks flying everywhere as they fly through the skies. Maya ends up defeating the demoness, and it is revealed that she was one of the 6 demon generals. As the siblings walk home, she pounces on Asahi once again. The next day, Asahi and Maya end up parting up with the famous hero Siegfried, but we discover that he has been reduced to a homeless man after being defeated by one of the demon generals Maya fought yesterday. Asahi saves Siegfried from being mugged by a group of criminals, but it turns out Siegfried still has some of his skills left in him. He easily defeats the thugs in less than a second. Then, he pukes from being drunk. Later, the demon general named Kilmaria returns. She chats with Asahi after saving him once again. After a bunch of wyverns show up, Maya appears and kills them all easily. Kilmaria is left speechless after being ignored by Maya, and they fight over Asahi. Out of nowhere, Asahi gets abducted by a wyvern, and Asahi falls from the sky after being dropped. Kilmaria catches him, and they return to the ground. The two women then form a bond of comradeship about saving Asahi. At the start of episode 4, we see Asahi begging for higher level quests with more rewards. Eventually, her takes a request from a noble family that gets him a house. The request involves exorcising an evil spirit, and Asahi gets spooked. Still, he and Maya accept the request, and the two walk through the dark forest. Maya brings up Asahi's childhood fear of horror and teases him a bit. Asahi denies being scared, but ends up being terrified of a crack of lightning. Once they enter the haunted house, a ghost possesses Maya's overpowered body and threatens to wreak havoc. Thankfully, Kilmaria arrives and fights Maya. Asahi tackles Kilmaria, but he ends up groping the sexy demon lady. She calls him naughty and blushes while Maya and the ghost inside her become enraged. They decided to duke it out through arm wrestling, and the air crackles with power and lightning. In the end, the possessed Maya wins due to the barrel they used to place their hands on broke. She pins Asahi to the ground, and it turns out that she's back to normal. Maya continues to tease Asahi, and it turns out the whole possession thing was never a problem. She already beat the spirit inside her, and wanted to have some fun scaring Asahi. In the end, they start living in the house, and Asahi accidentally stares at his sister's jiggling breasts. Before we continue, big shout out to Farhan OTB for commenting the timestamps of their favourite moments on our recap. Now back to the recap. Another day, another quest. Asahi decides to explore a dungeon by himself, but Maya ends up accompanying him anyway. As they make their way through the dark dungeon, they encounter some skeletons. Asahi tackles Maya, and they end up on top of each other. As it turns out, Asahi doesn't want her to blow up everything and kill them both. For once, Asahi uses his stone-throwing skill, and the skeleton ends up sending it back at him. Maya then proceeds to wreck all the skeletons even without magic. They end up seeing an abandoned golden throne at the deepest part of the dungeon and find a group of cute bears. Later, they return to the surface and discover that Kilmaria has used transformation magic to become a cute village girl as a disguise. They chat for a bit, and Kilmaria is shown around town by Asahi. After a long day of going around town, they return home and eat a homemade meal from Maya. Kilmaria uses her magic to fill Asahi's stomach and tries to eat his food, but throws a tantrum when she's called a pet. They all eat dinner in the end, everyone. Even Kilmaria enjoys the meal. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more recaps just like this. Go check out our other videos as well.